Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch, and welcome to another installment of the Jody's Sunday Roast series. Today I'm not going to roast a watch, I'm going to roast an entire watch brand. But first I'll tell you exactly why that brand is on the spit today. I get a number of emails most weeks asking me if I'd be interested in reviewing such and such a watch. Now usually these emails are from the brand themselves. Sometimes though you get a brand, especially the bigger brands, who have contracted an agency to kind of do the running around for them, if you will. So I've had a few emails over the years from agencies, but I can honestly say I have never had one like this before, like the one that I received last week. Now I've blocked out the sender's name and the company it came from, but you can see the brand they're representing, and the message here is loud and clear. Hi Jody, I'm reaching out on behalf of Shinola, blah blah blah, looking for a YouTube video in May. Fair enough, but check the deliverables. They want a favourable but still authentic and personal review of a Shinola watch. So authentic, but also favourable. I can honestly say that in all the time that I've been running this channel, I've never had a company basically ask for a positive review before. So then, if you see authentic, personal and positive Shinola reviews pop up all over YouTube in May, you should probably take them with a pinch of salt. Now I can't say with certainty that the brand sanctioned this email because it came from a third party, but it's not a good look. Needless to say, I have not replied, but the email did prompt me to click on the link within it and have a look at the range of Shinola watches, because I'll be honest, I've never looked at them before. And I gotta say, I don't think I have ever seen an entire range of dozens and dozens of watches, every one of them quite as overpriced as these before. No wonder they need to ask for favourable reviews from the outset. So I thought today I would give Shinola some coverage, the coverage they were seeking, but perhaps not with the tone they were seeking. I'm going to pick three of what I think are the most egregiously overpriced watches from the Shinola website and see just how little you get for your money and tell you what I think you should buy instead of a Shinola. Let's get on with it. Alright, so I'm in Australia, obviously the prices then are Australian. Now I am aware that Shinolas are assembled in Detroit, which obviously has a higher set of cost than being assembled in the Far East. And this is not a diss on the good people of Detroit because, you know, let's pick three watches from their best sellers list then. Let's have a look at what people are actually buying and if they would be better off buying something else instead. Starting with the Bronze Monster in 43mm. I think it's safe to say that bronze has rather had its day. Not too many companies are producing new bronze watches in 2025 anyway. Fair enough though, if Shinola are claiming that these are still selling, but I'm not quite sure how many of them they are selling at. 3.5 grand Aussie. Now Shinola make their watches, but they certainly don't make their movements. And indeed this one is powered by an entirely standard entry-level SW200 by Sellita. It's 43mm in diameter and over 15mm thick, but it does at least come with 300 meters of water resistance, all for the princely sum again of 3,500 Aussie dollars, which is exactly double the price of a Christopher Ward C60 Pro 300 in bronze, containing a Sellita SW200 as well. But it's not the base grade, it's the chronometer grade version. And I know these are just press shots, but the CW just looks so much nicer than the Shinola. And the CW is Swiss made as a bonus. Not a good start for Shinola then, and I'm warning you, it's not going to get any better from here. Another watch from their bestseller selection is the Mooncraft Monster Chrono 43mm. Now this one is heralded as Detroit's answer to the Moonwatch and tangentially celebrates the role played by the major car companies in the city in helping NASA with their efforts to get a man on the moon in the 1960s. That's a bit of a long bow to draw there, but alright, let's see it. It's not a bad looking dive style chronograph with those Apollo 11 references on the chapter ring. It's made of titanium with a titanium bracelet, and it contains a manual wind decorated Swiss made Sellita SW510 movement. Plus it's a limited edition of only 500 pieces. So how much do you think they're charging for that one then? Well, they're charging 7,550 Aussie dollars. That is serious money. That is major money even for a titanium mechanical chronograph. I suspect they're only making 500 pieces because they're simply not going to sell any more than that, certainly not at RRP. And where then would I steer you here if for some reason, for some bizarre reason, you don't think spending 7.5 grand on a Shinola is quite what you want to do today? Well, the Aussie list price of the Tudor Black Bay chronograph with its in-house automatic mechanical caliber 70-hour power reserve and T-fit adjustable clasp is only $1,000 more than the Shinola, a proper luxury watch from a Swiss luxury brand. Tudor Shinola. But that's cheating, Jody, I hear you cry. That's spending even more money. What if I want to spend less money? Well, what about another limited edition chronograph powered by exactly the same movement? What about the Baltic Scalegraph Tour Auto 2025 limited edition? That one is 3,000 Australian dollars, and it's even rarer, limited to only 400 pieces worldwide. Again, even if you get stung for GST at the border, it's still less than half the price of the Shinola. Stop it, Jody, stop it, they've had enough, somebody throw in the towel. Well, let's just do one more before we put Shinola out of their misery today. Again from their bestseller selection, the Runwell Sport Chronograph, a mere slip of a thing at only 48mm in diameter. It comes with straight cut end links. I hate those things. They couldn't even be bothered making a custom fitted bracelet for this one, my goodness. Now again, to give it its dues, it's made of titanium, but it's a quartz chronograph featuring a relabeled Ronda 5050B movement, I believe. Ronda 5050B movements are available for single unit purchase on eBay for well under $100 US. The price of the watch, the price of the Shinola here in Australia, $2,850. Bloody hell, that is a bit of a piss take, titanium or not. In fact, for only a few dollars more, you could have a quartz chronograph from another brand well known for taking the piss with their prices. Tag Heuer. You could get an F1 chronograph for 2,900 Aussie dollars. Again, Tag or Shinola. Or if you didn't want to buy a quartz chronograph that was crushingly overpriced, you can pick up a Bull of a Lunar Pilot here in Australia for RRP, for fairness and parity, $1,100. So for 40% of the price of the Shinola, you can get a watch that has actually been to the moon rather than the cousin of a watch that was made in the same city as other companies that helped other watches go to the moon. So there you have it. I think that's quite enough for today. Suffice to say, I was shocked when I saw just how little you got for your money with Shinola, making me less shocked that they would specifically seek positive reviews from their product from YouTubers. So hey, you can still buy a Shinola if you want to, but you should probably have a look at some of the other options before you do. Such as the Bull of a Lunar Pilot or a Christopher Ward Trident Pro. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one.